Hello. Got a little bit of an early start today. Uh, how you guys doing? This is gonna be a different kind of thing than I've done before. Um, actually, let me put the link in let me put the link in chat. Okay. Progressive House S tier, no questions asked. Now that like you're cooking there. Like I have a lot to say about Progressive House. I have a lot to say about Progressive House for sure. I have a lot to say about Progressive House. Like especially the different kinds of Progressive House. Like we have like you have like the Dead Mouse and Eric Pride's kind, and then you have like the Swedish House Mafia and the Lesso kind. Yeah, pro progressive anything, like just progressive EDM in general. It's just one of those things that is just like really hard for me to not like. But again, like I have a lot more to say about it. Anyways, yeah, this tier list is by Deej Master. Deej, you know him. Uh, I don't know if he'll be joining me. I actually asked. I DM'd him 5 minutes ago, and I said, "Hey, if you want to join the stream, just let me know." He hasn't responded yet. He might be busy. He might be doing something. But initially, I was planning on starting the stream with him, but I don't know if he'll be here. So who knows? Yeah, but he was the one who made this tier list, and yeah, we got a lot of different stuff in this tier list. Some shit that I just don't have enough of reference for, I guess. Like, I don't think I have enough reference for Jersey Club. So immediately, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put add a row below, and don't know, can't identify. Now, the interesting with Jersey Club is that I actually think that I can identify it, but I just haven't listened to it enough to like say definitively. What I do know is that the song Places I Belong by Seven Lions and Andrew Bayer, that the second drop of that is Jersey Club, and that's an amazing drop. I fucking love that. I fucking love that. I fucking love that. That's so good, bro. That's like amazing. Yeah, we have a lot. We have a lot, dude. We have a lot of genres that are like more historical in here, and then some that are just more like just kind of overall things. There's some like underground stuff. Like I don't think J Core is like a really like thing that like you'll see being like you would not see like David Guetta or Calvin Harris dropping J Core. That's for sure. Like yeah, it's pretty far from like the mainstream kind of sound. We have a lot of Detroit techno is like the beginning of all EDM. I might as well start with Detroit techno. I think because it's like the root of EDM itself. Detroit techno was I think originally popularized by a group named Cybotron back in like warehouses in like the late like early to mid 80s, I want to say. Maybe as far back as the late 70s, because I know that Kraftwerk was making Kraftwerk. I think was one of Daft Punk's main inspirations, and they were making like kind of techno-y music way back in the late 70s. But Detroit techno didn't really start to come into its own until like mid '80s, I would say. Yeah, but Detroit techno, it's a genre that like if you listen to Daft Punk, you probably know Detroit techno and Chicago house because like those are two of like the main genres that they're influenced by. Even though they're definitely more influenced by Chicago house than they are Detroit techno. Because I can definitively say that Homework, their debut album from 1997, is a Chicago house record. That album is so fucking fire. It is the most underrated Daft Punk album by far. It's not even close. Like Discovery and Random Access Memories get so much glazing, and Homework deserves more glazing. Like people do not glaze Homework enough. Like there are some seriously like sick like seamless transitions, especially in the beginning of the album. And like you have tracks like Revolution 909 and Burning Dude that just have like cracked production, especially for the 90s. Just like absolutely insane production. Anyways, Ashley, how are you doing? You love Revolution 909. Based, dude. That's fucking based. I love Revolution 909. Revolution 909, probably a top 10 Daft Punk track. Like Revolution 909 is so fucking good, dude. Oh my god. I remember one time when I was on a trip to Washington D.C. I was listening to like some music, and I just had my playlist on loop, and Space Laces, Choppa's played, and that was really good. But then Revolution 909 played right after that, and I went, and I'm not kidding. I literally went harder to Revolution 909 than I did to Choppa's, and Choppa's is probably like my favorite Space Laces track. Okay, yeah, Detroit techno. Where would I put this? I'd probably put it in like. Hold on, what the hell? Yeah, why is D above C? I'd probably put it in C. Like, I feel like production wise, it's not really my thing. Like, I can understand. Like, it's just a little bit too simple. Like I get it. Like, I get the idea it's going for, but oftentimes, like, I feel like it's a little bit too simple and a little bit too repetitive, and it just doesn't have like the kind of progression that I want from progressive EDM. I mean, it's not a progressive genre, but it definitely did inspire. Like it's like the ancient like foundations of like everything. Like you have like Detroit techno and Chicago house, Daft Punk, and then from Daft Punk you get all the big progressive house, like festival progressive electro house artists. We're gonna get to that. We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna get to that. Yeah, Detroit techno. Yeah, from everything I've heard, like it's an all right genre. It's just not very my thing production wise. Like I'm not really a big fan of like the drums. I feel like I feel like it's generally when I hear it, it just needs more acid basses. And like whenever I listen to techno, I'm like, this is just kind of lacking acid basses. Like there's a reason why I would say like KX5 is like almost like a perfect album. Like, bro, like I remember when I first listened to KX5, I didn't appreciate it enough. And every time I would come back to KX5 and listen to that, the album would grow. And just like that is like that kind of techno is the exact kind of techno I enjoy. Sacrifice. Like Sacrifice is so cracked, dude. Oh my god. Bro, Avalanche. Avalanche is one of the most cracked drops I have ever heard, dude. That shit is bussin', bro. Oh my good lord. Like, absolutely. Like, yeah, Detroit techno, it's good. Is it the birth? Is it like one of the founding genres of EDM? Yes. Has it aged well? In my opinion, no. I feel like there could just be more musicality to it, but I don't think it's objectively bad. It's just like not my thing production wise again. Vapor Soul. What the heck? So Vapor Soul is kind of one of those genres that's a little bit more difficult to identify. I would say like Sultan and Shepherd makes Vapor Soul. Like Vapor Soul is kind of like, yeah, Vapor Soul like Casbo kind of delves a little bit into that sound. Sultan and Shepherd a little bit. Forrester a little bit. Shallow a little bit. Like if you're into like This Never Happened or Foreign Family, you probably have like encountered this genre a little bit. Like it's a very chill sound. Like it incorporates like elements of house in it, elements of like ska in it. Like it's very just it's like lounge music, but the verses are just like really really the core of the thing, and it's just very very verse and like atmosphere driven. Yeah, it's definitely a genre that I enjoy quite a lot. Definitely one of those genres that I really really like. Like it's great. I'd probably put like Vapor Soul A. I think like it lays the groundwork for a lot for like a genre for like a I think at least two genres that are going to be in S tier. Like it's part of that, but it's not like the entire sound that I love. Like I don't go out of my way to look for Vapor Soul, though I feel like a lot of artists that I come across that I really love happen to make the sound. Like I would say like my favorite artist in Vapor Soul is like Shallow. I think Shallow can accurately be described as Vapor Soul. Like Shallow and maybe also Duskus. I think Duskus is also that kind of sound. Duskus is quite good. Detroit techno is deep for you. Yeah, I can understand that. Like Detroit techno isn't really my again. Like I think I said it earlier. It's not really my kind of sound production wise. But like I definitely respect it, and like especially listening to early Daft Punk, I can hear a lot of Detroit techno in that sound. But yeah, like it's not until later. It's not until like later that techno gets like actually good for me. That like I start to enjoy it. Like I'm definitely more of a modern techno person than I am like older techno. Melodic dubstep. I don't know, man. Like if you've been watching my channel, like I don't know, man. I don't know what to tell you. Like if you've been watching my channel, you should know that I'm not like compromising here. Melodic dubstep is probably like the genre that made me love EDM. Like I think like when I first came into contact with EDM, like the first kind of sound that I encountered was of course like the progressive house, like Avicii style sound that like had like supercell breakdowns and just like 128 BPM kind of house drops. Most of it was NCS, but but like yeah, I think through NCS like NCS and progressive house led me to other genres that were also on NCS, and that's where I found melodic dubstep. My first artist in this genre was Mendem. I remember I think the day I heard their track Beyond, that shit was insane from the moment I listened to that. Like I listened to that back when I didn't even have like Spotify at all. Yeah, like yo, what's up, Omega? How you doing? Yeah, I listened to Mendem Beyond back when I did not even have Spotify. Like at that point, I didn't even have Spotify 3. Oh, it's going nice. Yeah, Mendem Elysium, classic. Like I don't listen to Mendem massively often anymore. At least not as much as I have back in 2018 and 2019. But I definitely still do appreciate them. They don't release often though. Like I wish I not gonna lie, like I wish they released often because they definitely are like talented producers. Yeah, if you didn't know, Mendem's actually a duo. But yeah, like Mendem, Mendem, Mendem definitely like kind of introduced me to that world, and then from there I started to discover other artists like Last US Crystal Skies, Nurko, and then finally Millennium. And I think the moment I think like the album that made me fall in love with EDM was Millennium's Ashes. And like you can say that's melodic bass. I don't care. I don't fucking care. Like it's it takes huge influence without melodic dubstep, and you can't say that that genre would that album would exist without melodic dubstep. So I'm gonna mention it in that context, even though it's not really melodic dubstep; it's much more future based. Traditional dance floor D&B. This is an actually difficult one because while I do like drum and bass, like I love drum and bass, but this is one of the ones that like really tends to vary on who's producing it. Cause like I feel like the big artists in the scene for traditional dance for DB are actually really good producers. Like if we're talking like Sub Focus, Pendulum, Wilkinson, like they're kind of cracked, bro. Like I can't lie. Like they are kind of cracked. Like if we're talking only them, like I could probably see like low, like maybe even low S. Like if we're talking only those guys, because they're like they have some really good songs and like some really cool styles. But I feel like overall, it's a little bit more like I'd probably say like a lower B tier, honestly, for traditional. Like especially if we're talking about like more than like the bigger artists, because of course the bigger artists are like great. But yeah, like it's definitely a very good sound, and I would say like I prefer it to Liquid. Actually, you know what? If I'm putting Liquid in this tier, let me think. Yeah, I think a low A tier, low A tier, low A tier. Low A tier. Acid techno. Yeah, acid techno. Yeah, acid techno. Fucking love the KX5 album. That's basically acid techno. I'm pretty sure. Someone correct me if I'm just like having a brain fart and just I'm just not making sense at all. But like, yeah, acid techno, dude. If Avalanche by KX5, actual just oh my god, dude, that track is nuts, bro. So fucking good. Yeah, acid techno. Techno always needs acid basses. Like it's imperative for techno to have acid basses. Like you can't have like for me you cannot have good techno unless you have acid basses and massive gated kicks. Massive. I really enjoy. I honestly super enjoy the sound of acid techno. Very much. Like it's definitely done well when it has drops, when it has like more builds and stuff, and isn't quite as repetitive. Because I noticed that some acid techno tracks just kind of start with the acid, and I wish like I wish like more tracks would kind of like start kind of like a little bit more how like trance or progressive house starts, where it just kind of starts with like like a radio edit of progressive house. Like it kind of starts off chill and then it goes into build, hit you with the gated. But yeah, like I would probably say like mid to high A tier, very good sound. I like it. It can definitely get repetitive, but yeah, like it's definitely like a sound that like I haven't really found a time when like it's necessarily like the production isn't like really my thing. But yeah, like probably mid A tier, mid A tier, mid A. Glitch hop. Glitch hop's one of those sounds that I don't really have a huge amount of reference for. Like I haven't gone out of my way to look for glitch hop to be honest. Like I know Hin Kick, but it's been years. Like it's like it has been years since like I would say like I genuinely like consistently listen to glitch hop, and like I don't like it's also hard for me to identify for it's also hard for me to identify it. I will say Body Flicker by Dyadic and Butte Noise is what the fuck. Like that track is insane. That track's insane. Body Flicker is absolutely fucked, bro. Like glitch hop is one of those genres where like again like I think a cardinal rule for just EDM in general is that if you put a genre in the hands of a good producer, it's gonna be good. Like if you put a genre in the hands of a producer who doesn't want to just follow all the genre conventions of that sound and wants to actually like apply their own sound to it, it's gonna be fire. Like it's gonna be great. Would say would say B for now, cause it's interesting. Like it's interesting. Like I think glitchiness inherently is interesting. I just haven't seen it as a genre that like naturally lends itself to musicality or anything. Shoegaze slash noise pop. Now, I'm gonna be honest. There's really only one artist that I can really. Is there a link to this tier list? Yes. I will give you the link later. Flip down. Wait, flip down by who? The track flip down by who? If you could give me more information, that'd be great. What was I gonna say? Yeah, shoegaze, noise pop. There's only one artist I can really like give as a reference to here, and that's a Cloudy Sky. I'm a very, very big fan of a Cloudy Sky. He's very good. I love his voice. I love his chords. Just how he composes music. It's very, very unique. Very, very beautiful. In like almost an ethereal way. I will say his shoegaze noise pop sound is definitely a lot weaker. His shoegaze noise pop sound is a lot weaker than his like noise wall sound. Like I liked his last album. Like I thought it was decent. Like it's not a bad album. It's just it just doesn't have anything that like I would hugely come back to. Like if I'm listening to the album all the way through, then like yeah, it's an experience. Like Team is a great song. Uh Surface is a great song. I like Surface a lot. Um yeah. Like shoegaze noise pop, would probably say like C. Yeah. I'd probably say C. Like musically it's a nice genre. It's just not my thing production wise, to be honest. But like I like it musically. Again, like the production just could be better. Like it's just not electronic enough, I guess. It's just not electronic enough. It doesn't have like enough of a beat or a progression that like is really like electronic driven. But it's nice. It's nice. Eurodance. This is a this is a sound that I have a difficult time identifying. Though I will say it's way better than Eurobeat. It's way better than Eurobeat. It's not even close. Eurodance versus Eurobeat is not close. Like Eurodance clears. Eurodance clears. Yeah, like I really associate Eurodance with like that like 2000s kind of style, like happy hardcore kind of sound. Like it's one of those like sounds that like if I were a DJ, I would definitely play with happy hardcore. Like I would play like Eurodance and happy hardcore basically together in the same set for like that. Like if I had to choose two genres to represent the 2000s, it's Eurodance and happy hardcore, man. Like my audio is cutting in and out. Let me try something. Okay. My audio is cutting in and out. That's goofy, bro. All right. Yeah, Eurodance A. Seems fine now. Okay. Yeah, Eurodance. I would honestly agree with you, Greg. Like Eurodance, probably A. Like definitely like a sound that I don't see a lot any these days. Like I think it just kind of got absorbed by like trance and happy hardcore. But it's it's a good sound. Like I like it a lot. Like give me some like Dr. Spile. I love that. I think it's by Alex B and Yas. It's either Alex B or Alex C who made that song. I can never remember the exact name, but Dr. Spile I think is Zero Dance. That's such a banger. Freaking love that song. Oh my god, so good. Um, yeah, like definitely heavily associate Eurodance and Happy Hardcore. Future House. Oh boy, this is an interesting one. Yo, what's up, Jay? Yo, what's good, man? Is this the first time that I've seen you on a stream, dude? Haven't I don't think I don't think I've ever seen you on a stream, Jay. What's up, man? Future House B. Oh, dude. If I'm thinking of like the bigger artists in Future House, ugh, dude, I don't I don't, bro. I'm gonna be honest. Like my favorite artist in Future House by far is probably like Asketa and Nadam Chain. They're great. They're great. I love them. Like I freaking loved Asketa and Nadam Chain since like 2018 or so. Since like I very first like I think Asketa and Nadam Chain I've known since like I discovered NCS back in like 2018 from their song Alone. Yeah. Literally every song coming out in 2018 was called Alone, so because Alan Walker. But yeah, we don't talk about that. All right. Yeah, Future House, kind of like outside of Asketa and Nadam Chain's discography, I don't really enjoy Future House. I can't lie. Like it just feels really tacky to me. It's like you don't have the impact of like something like harder, like trance, but you also don't have like the melodicness of like or like the drop like musicality of like something like progressive house, and it just like doesn't really do that. Like I'd probably say C. Like I don't. It's not a genre that I hate, but it's not like it's just not really something I really love. Big, yeah, I agree. Like I don't like Brooks, dude. Like I've tried to get into Brooks. I've tried to get into Brooks, and he's just not my thing, dude. Um, yeah, Future House alright. Botanica. Now there's Botanica has a pretty interesting backstory. Now this is a genre that was created directly by Porter Robinson's Nurture. Like in fact I think it was a term created specifically to describe that album. Now, if we're basing it just on like that, I would say instant S tier, cause I don't really, yeah, like Nurture's probably like a top 5 album of all time for me. Like I don't really think like there's many albums that are capable of just destroying my emotions like a nuclear missile that consistently with like every single track. Like I don't think there's a single song on Nurture that's below a 9. Like I can't even lie. So like if we're just going by that, I think like I probably put it in S tier. Though I don't really feel like that's a very fair assessment. I've heard a little bit of Botanica outside of Nurture. I feel like Botanica has a lot of like Japanese elements. Like there's a lot of like Japanese house producers or like people like those like Spotify like EDM producers who like have the anime art, and like they have like 6,000 to 20,000 monthly listeners. Like that's kind of like the people that produced this genre even like before Porter made it. Like I think like a prime example of like an artist who makes Botanica is like Fritz. Fritz is like pretty much makes Botanica. Like I don't think Fritz would have a sound if it weren't for Nurture. Like Fritz is literally just Nurture the artist. Like that's who Fritz is. I would say my favorite artist in this genre. I mean, outside of being fair to Porter, because like Porter is Porter is Porter. Like you're not gonna be Porter, no matter how hard you try. Um, unless you're Anki, but we don't talk about that. Botanica, probably A. I'd probably say A. I think the last Botanica project I heard was a collaboration album with collaboration EP. I think 2 songs between Dota and Static. And Static is like this like small like artist, smaller artist. Like Static and Dota are both smaller artists. I think the biggest exposure that Static has had is his song Breathe, which was released on Proximity, if you know that song. But yeah, like Static's not a very big artist. I think Dota's even smaller. But yeah, they collabed and they made 2 songs together. I think I listened to those on a previous stream. I'm not sure if it was one of these YouTube streams or maybe a Kip stream, but I definitely did listen to them on stream. Yeah, I'd probably say A for Botanica. Like it's a really good sound. Like Nurture is a goated album. Like I think like any sound that's based off of that is gonna be goated. But yeah, like I just haven't seen like a lot of. I would say I would have to like expose myself more to this genre if I want to put it in like S tier, because like I just haven't seen like a lot of people do it. Because I think like a lot of like the truly like unique producers are like are more inspired by like less by Porter's sound and more his creative process. Like I think like that's one of the most inspirational things about Porter is like how he just goes from one sound to another like without barely like taking a breath. And it's just like every album is like, oh my god, this is completely different from the last album. And then like half the fan base is like, I fucking hate this. And half the fan base is like, I fucking love this. And me, I'm just like here like I generally like every album. Like I don't know, I just kind of like every Porter era generally. But there definitely are ones that I would prefer to others. But this isn't a Porter Robinson stream. This is a Tierlist stream. I'm getting off track. We got Chicago House. Chicago House, great sound. Love Daft Punk's Homework. Um, there are some other artists that do Chicago House. I think Frankie Knuckles is also Chicago House. I literally have a book about like Chicago House. Yeah, I think it's right here. Like this is literally a book that I have about Chicago House. I need to like finish reading this. It's actually pretty interesting. Yeah, it's Jesse Saunders. I think Jesse Saunders is like a pioneer in like the realm of techno house esque kind of stuff. He was like very popular back in like the 80s, 90s. I want to say like late 80s, early 90s. That's when he like hit his peak, kind of. Yeah, I think. Chicago House did start it all. Yet Chicago House and Detroit techno are the foundation of modern EDM. Like without them, you don't have Daft Punk, and without Daft Punk, you don't have fuck all. Like it's literally just not possible to have EDM without those 2 genres. Yeah, I'd probably say Chicago House definitely better than Detroit techno. I think I put it low B. I'll put it low B. New disco. New disco is difficult, dude, because again, it's one of those genres I don't really have like a huge amount of reference to go for. I know there's a lot of underground artists who make new disco, but I've been lacking. I don't listen to like a huge amount of underground music. Like I definitely do enjoy my fair share of like peeps like I don't know like Exobolt and Fowler. I get that stuff, but like I haven't like gone deep into like I would say like I guess like the most like underground I've stuff that like I deeply enjoy is anything like that Noisia like decides to like sponsor, like freaking like Former or something like Former or Pussage, like Neuro kind of underground. Like I would say like Neurofunk is like kind of my favorite underground sound, but we're gonna get to that when we get there. Yeah, new disco. It's interesting. It's very interesting ideas wise. Yo, what's up, Dreco? Bro, it's crazy that the one time I'm actually not doing reactions is like the stream where I actually get the most engagement. This is wild. Anyways, how you doing, man? How's it going? I genuinely did not expect this kind of turnout on a Sunday night. Like I thought Sunday nights was like packed up, bro. Like no one is fucking joining stream on a Sunday night. News go B. I'm honestly inclined to agree. Like it's an interesting sound ideas wise. I just haven't heard a version of it that like really like is like musicality wise like super beautiful. But ideas wise, I can definitely appreciate it. Like it's interesting. It's interesting. Okay. Yeah. Vocal trance. S tier. Pretty straightforward. Um, vocal trance. I think a great example of that I can like just explain is White Lies by Factor B. If you want to know what vocal trance is, I'll listen to that shit right now. It's a 10. It's a masterpiece. Um, vocal trance is one of those genres where just like you can just do it like I think trance in general just has the highest quality floor of any sound in EDM. Like especially in terms of its balance between musicality and production. There's not really a moment where I feel like the musicality of trance is so important and has to overshadow the production, or that the production is like very flat or average. Like even like the flat and average stuff still sounds good, and I'm still gonna give it like a 7.58. But like if we're talking like established producers in the scene who like have been making this shit for years, which is a lot of them, because like a lot of trance producers don't just kind of like a lot of trance producers have like been around for a while, and it's like like I think trance as a sound is something that's been around for a while, and the reason why it's my favorite is because of its consistency. Like I can go back to all the way to Alice DJ and Robert Miles from like late 90s, early 2000s, and I can still enjoy the fuck out of that. And then I can go to modern shit like Mayan and Andrew Bayer, and it's like I can still have stuff from the 2000s be a 9 and stuff from like 2020 be a 10. And like it's still like so consistent just because the musicality is so consistent. And I think like just the structure lends itself to like you have like the intro, which is like pounding gated kicks, really just like good deep basses, and just like oh. Then you have like the atmospheric breakdown, which is usually when you introduce the vocal. You have like a slower part, then you have a massive long build with lots of melodic progression, and then the drop just hits you. Like it's one of the simplest formulas out there, and I haven't really found a time when that didn't work for me. Like it's funny, like it's very contradictory of me, because like I will say that like I'm very against like formulative music, but I think the thing about trance that like makes it really work is the fact that it's not like it often goes more for like one drop, and works on like emphasizing that one drop and getting you hyped for that one drop rather than just like repeating the same section. Like I think like something that like melodic dubstep and progressive house do a lot that don't necessarily like make them bad for me. Like but that they could be more interesting structure wise is that often they don't spend a lot of time building or like emphasizing something. They're kind of just like, oh, we're starting, we have vocal, we have build, we have drop, then we have like another verse, we have build, we have drop. Whereas trance, like it's a really like wide, so it really makes you take your time. And I really like tracks that make me ponder and make me take my time and kind of wonder where this song is going, Like I think like the best feeling in EDM is not just like the drop itself, but anticipating that drop and getting me hyped for that drop. And I think vocal trance probably one of the best to do it. Like if not the best. Just just getting me emotionally invested before it hits me with that drop. Like I can't really say anything. Yeah. Like probably gonna be like top 5. Like it's so fucking goated. It's just not even funny. Chiptune. I like Anamanaguchi. What else is chiptune? It's one of those genres that's kind of difficult to identify. Can someone give me a chiptune artist? Ashes, are you here? Televisor. You like Televisor? Okay, I'm assuming Televisor is new disco. Ashes, if you're here, can you give me a chiptune artist? Because of the bow tie thing, I did not sleep well last night. I can't lie. the I swear to God, like the moment wolves cubby. I think I know that. I think I'm pretty sure. Didn't D show me that? I swear D showed me something like that, dude. Cubby is chiptune. Okay. Cubby. Yeah. Okay. I'd probably say B. I'd probably say B. Like probably high B for chiptune. Yeah. Yeah. I think I would definitely say high B for chiptune. Like it's a genre that has like a lot of pretty cool melodies. And like it can really blend. I think one of the more interesting things about chiptune is it does a great job of blending into like non-electronic genres. Like it's it's it it's a melodic style, but it's also very minimalist, which is something you don't see a lot. But it like you can incorporate like rock into it and use it to make rock sound electronic, and it's very interesting. Like I think like chip tunes in general are just like really good at adding like flair to stuff. Yeah, like Anamanaguchi, good shit. Like the only album I've listened to from them is USA, but the song, yeah. Yeah, what was the name of the song? Sunset by Plane. Fucking goaded. Fucking goaded. Sunset by Plane is so fucking goaded, it's not even funny, dude. I absolutely adore Sunset by Plane. Oh my god, dude. Sunset by Plane is so peak, bro. I love Sunset by Plane so much, dude. Hold up, guys. Um, I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna actually change my bitrate. I'm gonna change my bitrate and see if that helps with the stream. Because it's super low for some reason. I don't know why. I might have to like use old. I might have to like end this stream. Hold on. Yeah, but I'll be right back. All right. I think we're back. You back? Yeah. Sorry about that. I just had to change the bitrate. Um. Yeah, but connection hopefully should be a little better. Because I just decided to turn the quality up so that maybe the quality can be a little bit better. Let me think. Yeah, where were we? Festival Progressive Electro House. I don't think there's anything I can say about the sound that like a billion people haven't already said. Like it's pretty much the definition of like EDM. Like it's one of those just genres that's like impossible to hate. Like if you hate this genre, I don't know what to say about you, dude. Like like if you don't like at least like maybe one song of Festival Progressive House, that's Progressive Electro House. Like I'm just gonna give you a stern look from across the room. I'm like, what is you doing, bro? Like, what? Like, what is you doing? Like, even like people who don't listen to EDM fucking know some of this shit, bro. Like, it's just like maybe the most widely known, just unhateable genre of EDM. Like, it's like maybe like the one genre of EDM that like you just don't call overhyped because it isn't. Like, like Festival Progressive House, Electro House. Some of my favorite artists in this genre, probably it's difficult to say because like a lot of these my favorite artists from this genre are from years ago, and I haven't listened to their modern stuff, but like, dude, like the big artists from this genre are so good. Like we got Alesso, we got Avicii, we got Calvin Harris. Um, David Guetta doesn't produce, so he doesn't count. Um, Tiesto, A Town Called Paradise, still his best album. Red Light, still his best song. Like, I haven't listened to Trans Tiesto, so I don't know. That might change someday. There's just so many great songs. Like, I think like this genre just lends itself to really, really good musicality, really, really nice vocals. Like, I don't know, like, just to give like a random example, like the structure of I Want You to Know by Zed. It's just a perfect example of just like a really nice, uplifting, just like a nice sounding song that like I think could be appreciated by someone who just is a pop enjoyer. Like, I mean, got fucking Selena Gomez on there, but like also like people who like EDM would also love it, you know? Okay, I'm actually gonna do something again. Just a second. I noticed that the thing is saying something. Give me literally 30 seconds. I'm just gonna push two buttons and we'll be right back. I'm sorry about this. I just want to make sure this goes smoothly. Cause like I remember I had this setting on back when I had the bad router. Back when my Wi-Fi was still back when my Wi-Fi sucked actual like cock. But like yeah, I remember I had that setting on. I just need to turn it off. I promise I will be right back. I'll I'll continue talking about like festival progressive house and like maybe some of my issues with it since like it is S tier, but I do want to talk about like some of the complaints that I have with like the direction that the genre has gone in the last like decade or so. Yeah, we'll talk about that when I okay. I think we should be back. Excellent connection. All right, this was the setting I had it on before. This should work perfectly. I had it on this setting literally before. Okay. Yeah, we're back. Okay. Cool. Awesome. You guys here? Yes. Sorry about that. I was trying to get like an ideal connection and I accidentally turned off like a setting that OBS did not like when I turned off that setting. Did not like that. OBS said, "No! I'm not letting you stream when you turn that off. I'm not letting you stream. You are not streaming." Yeah, I will say, unfortunately with the setting, there will be some buffering, but y'all will still be able to like understand what I'm saying, probably, hopefully. Yeah. Um, okay, back to the tier list. Festival Progressive House, Electro House, Progressive Electro House. It's goaded. Like it's just one of those genres that like impossible to hate. I will say like the general quality of the genre since about like 2016, 2017 or so has not been very good. Like we still get good tracks once in a while. It's just like there aren't that many like big consistent artists who like make this sound anymore. Like maybe like the closest that we got is like Martin Garrix. Like Sencho's a fucking amazing album. Like Sencho's probably like a 10 out of 10 album. I can't lie. Like Sen- Sencho is most likely a 10 out of 10 album. Phasius, yeah, Phasius, man. Phasius is great. Love Phasius, man. Love me some Phasius. Oof. Yeah, progressive electro house just if you dislike this genre, like I don't know what to say to you. Like I'm just gonna look at you with disappointment. Cause like this is easily like I can totally understand if you have this top one. Like this is easily top five. Tear out. Oh my god. Greg is gonna say instant D. Instant D for tear out. Now me, I love tear out. I love tear out. Tear out is my shit, dude. Like I would say it's probably one of my favorite genres of dubstep. especially like the underground kind of style of tear out, like shit by Nat, like Nash by Stag. Like what the fuck, bro? That shit's so nasty. Just like one of the things I love about tear out is like the really like complex bass lines and just like how guttural the snares are. Like you have like so much percussion and just so much going on. It like you have like a billion like machines like crashing into each other, but it's just like the way that it's like modulated and like constructed. It's just so fucking cool. Tear out F. Yeah, I totally understand, bro. Like I think like if you don't like the sound design and if you especially if you don't like modern dubstep, like I can totally understand not liking this at all. Like you kind of have to like have an ear for like really like just really like incredibly like industrial like machine sounds to like this shit. But it's like definitely like 2 years ago I would have hated it. Like 2 years ago, I absolutely would have agreed with you like there, Greg, where it's F. Like 2 years ago, you and me same page. Tear out F, dude. Now, when I hear a tear out Phil, I literally shit myself. Like tear out, just just the flow in tear out is just so good with like the percussion. Like listening to something like Vastiv, even though Vastiv's technically not tear out, like Vastiv is like the same kind of feeling as tear out. Like Vastiv just like it feels like a Viking like fighting. It feels like a Viking like roaring into like an industrial like machine or something. It's like it's just an absolutely insane sound. Like you're not gonna find much else that sounds like this. I'd probably put it like high A, low S. I just fucking love this shit. It's just like whenever I want something fucking heavy as shit to just like freaking like just like feel like cool flows and shit, I just put some tear out, man. Fucking love tear out. Yeah. Breakbeat. Breakbeat is one of those genres that like it's really weird talking about breakbeat because I feel like so many artists love putting breakbeat in their like songs, but the actual song itself isn't breakbeat at all. Like they'll have like a breakbeat section or like a section with broken beats, but the song itself is not actually breakbeat. As for the actual sound itself, I'd say that breakbeat is like a better it's like a better liquid D&B. Like or maybe about equal to liquid D&B. If I put like traditional dance floor D&B in like A, I'd probably put breakbeat like B. I think I put it below chiptune. Like it's cool. Like it's definitely been around for a long time, and it's cool. Like definitely like has inspired a lot of different artists in a lot of different genres. Like when you listen like Virtual Self, the Porter Alias, like there's so much breakbeat influence there. Breakbeat, breakcore stuff. Yeah, like breakbeat's a very versatile genre. Like the sound profiles of breakbeat can kind of fit into a lot of different stuff. And like that's always cool to see. That's always cool to see. Yeah, like definitely like when I hear a break like when I hear like the average breakbeat in like a song, it doesn't add a huge amount to the song. It's just like, oh cool, that's breakbeat. Like I think like hearing it in so many different genres just like gotten me to recognize it. Like everyone from ISOXO to freaking like Anki to like Eliminate has like a breakbeat snare somewhere, you know? Like bass music loves breakbeat. Hybrid trap. Hybrid trap low key fucking gas, bro. Like, if you're a Sable Valley enjoyer like me, be a Sable Valley enjoyer. Not being a Sable Valley enjoyer is very questionable in this day and age in 2024. In 2020, in the 2024 world of ISOXO and Knock 2, not being a Sable Valley enjoyer, nah, bro. That's not very based. That's not very based. Gotta be a Sable Valley enjoyer, bro. For real. Yeah, hybrid trap, quite a good sound. Quite a good sound. Would probably put I'd probably put this in A tier. Probably put this in A. Yeah, hybrid trap. I think I'd put it maybe I'd probably put it below Eurodance and Vapor Soul. Yeah, hybrid trap. Like my favorite artist in hybrid trap right now. Who's my favorite artist in hybrid trap right now? I'd probably say either Frost Top or Jules. Though I'm maybe leaning towards Jules. Because what Jules has been putting out recently, I think like going back to like Jules' album Floor Space, there's some fucked up shit on there, dude. Oh my god, dude. That's so cracked. Like, freaking like the power, dude. What? Like, listen to the power and tell me that's not like some of the most cracked trap you've ever heard, dude. It's so fire. Like, I'm gonna be honest, like, Jules is probably better than Noctu. I'm not gonna lie. Jules is better than Noctu. Like, I said it. I said it. I said it on camera. The, the Noctu fans are gonna be like, the Noctu fans are gonna come at me like this healthcare CEO guy. But I don't care. I said it. Like, Jules is fucking cracked as shit, bro. I love Jules. Floor Space, fire album. I need to go back to that album. It's so good. But yeah, like hybrid trap, absolutely fucks. Oh, Dead Crow's great too. Dead Crow's great. Dead Crow and Sublab. Ooh, Dead Crow and Sublab. Ooh, Dead Crow and Sublab, man. Dead Crow and Sublab. Oh yes, Dead Crow and Sublab, dude. So fucking good. Especially Sublab. If you haven't heard his like EP from last year on Sable Valley, bangs so hard. Oh my lord. So good. Industrial metal. Industrial metal is one of the weirdest genres in EDM. It's well, I mean, it's pretty self-evident. It's like it's halfway between it's essentially metal with EDM mixing. Like it's hard to describe like what exactly it is. Industrial, yeah. Sound is production wise, it's not really that great. But if you're adding it to something else, like especially dubstep, if you're adding it to dubstep, like if you use industrial metal as a dubstep or a brostep fill, it can be really cool. I think by itself, it's not that interesting. Like like you add it to like other, it's a kind of sound that you add to other sounds. I'd probably put like C. I'd probably say C for that. Like the production is not that great on industrial metal. Usually, honestly, I also like my I have a little bit of a bias towards industrial metal, but I'm gonna be try to be like as partial as possible. Because Anki, my favorite artist, he has made he definitely is very inspired by that sound. At least his Rafted EP and To Be Heard albums definitely take a lot of inspiration from the sound of industrial metal. Like I'm pretty sure Rusty Kingdom by Anki is an industrial metal track. And that track was like one that like I think it has a really cool vibe, but just the drops I'm not like a big fan of, just production wise. Like they're cool like ideas wise, I guess, but again like the production is just not as good as like dubstep or electro or something like that. It just doesn't have the kind of yeah, I don't know. Like like it has a lot of detail and it has a lot of like complexity, but nothing in it like feels like necessarily emphasized. It just kind of feels often like muddy a lot of times. Like at least the traditional way to mix it. Yeah. But like yeah. I don't hate it, but it's not like hugely my thing production wise. I'd probably put it like let me think. I'd probably put it above shoegaze noise pop. Actually, no. I'll put it top of it. I put it top of C tier. Top of C tier. Experimental. Uh, I don't know how. I don't know where to start with this. It's kind of a vague term. I would say like something like gyro field. would be experimental. Gyro field or EPROM could be considered experimental. Like anything like in the weird core kind of sound. Maybe Belaine is an experimental artist. Definitely like a lot of like experimental kind of Y2K vibes in there. Lot like I would say like honestly I would group experimental and IDM together. Like experimental and IDM are kind of the same. I don't know. Like experimental is so hard to identify, like so hard to like talk about that. Like I would say like yeah, like I I would ask Deej like I would ask Deej exactly what he meant by that when he was making this tier list because it's a little bit vague of a term. Like it's just like what? But yeah, like experimental. I would say like it's like basically I would say like experimental and IDM for the purposes of this are pretty much the same thing. IDM instantly I would put in A because IDM very awesome ideas. Musicality wise, it doesn't really lend itself to musicality that well. Like IDM is the kind of thing that you need to be a very skilled producer to pull off, and as a result, I think it has like a very high, pretty high like quality floor. Like it has a pretty high quality floor. I'm gonna put experimental they can identify here. We'll talk about IDM instead. Yeah, like my favorite IDM artist. Let me think. Flying Lotus is technically like experimental IDM. Like you can kind of like Cosmogramma is a great album. Like I wouldn't necessarily call it EDM because IDM feels again like I think like the entire point of IDM being IDM is that it's not really electronic dance music. It's intelligent dance music. It's something that really like leverages a lot of like techniques that are learned from electronic music and it kind of takes bits and pieces of electronic music and shifts them around to create a whole different genre. And I think this is something that Flying Lotus does really well. Like Flying Lotus is great at this. EPROM is great at this. Gyro Field is very good at this as well. Like taking all of these like different disparate elements and like creating extremely complex rhythms. Like I think the best part about IDM is like extremely complex rhythms. Like G Jones, I think could be considered IDM a little bit. I think he leans more towards a little bit the trap world, but definitely a lot of IDM influence in there. Deadmau5 has made IDM, I know before. Aphex Twin has done IDM. I think Moby. I want to say Moby is IDM, though I haven't really listened to Moby. I still have to do that. I definitely do want to listen to Moby at one point. Yeah, IDM's an interesting genre. It just doesn't do a lot like musicality wise. Like I'd probably put it like yeah, I'd probably put it below Hypertrap and Acid Techno. Yeah, I'd probably put it below those two, but above Trad D&B and Botanica. Because it's just super interesting ideas wise. And like you kind of just don't know where it's going. Like when you have in the hands of like a producer who wants to do something really heavy with it, it can be absolutely fucked. Liquid D&B. Liquid D&B. Liquid D&B is just nice. I'd probably say of the three big like sounds of D&B, it's probably my least favorite. But it's a nice. Like it's inoffensive, it's nice. Like when I want something soft, when I want softer D&B, which isn't often the case, I'll put it on. My favorite artist in this sound is probably like Kino, if you know Kino. I Live I Learn, amazing album. Unreachable from that album is a 10. One of probably my favorite Liquid D&B ever. Or my second favorite. Actually, my very favorite Liquid D&B ever is C by Astral. But I think I like Liquid. I like that song more because it's like because of its musicality more than the fact that it's actually Liquid DnB. IDM is most likely B for me. Can be hit or miss. I agree. Vibing. I very much agree. Like IDM can be like there were some IDM EPs I got recommended back on my kick streams, and like I found them interesting. I just didn't really click with the musicality really. Like there were too much about ideas and less about like production or musicality. And I think I want something that's a little bit more production musicality based. Like ideas are very secondary. Like ideas are for when you have nailed the production and musicality for me. Liquid, yeah, like yeah. I think like I absolutely agree. Like Liquid DnB can be quite good. It's just like it doesn't always. It's not always like amazing. Like again, like if it's in the hands of a producer like Etherwood or something, it can be great. Like I really enjoyed Fred B's album from this year. Ooh, dude. Yeah, the new Fred B album was great. The collab with Laura Brem, dude, I almost cried, dude. Like when I heard the Laura Brem collab, I legit almost cried. Like that was like one. That's probably like my favorite Liquid D&B song of the year. That sounds insane. That sounds insane. Yeah, I'd probably put Liquid D&B B. Yeah, B. I'd probably say high, maybe high B. I think right below breakbeat. Right below breakbeat. Yeah, right below breakbeat. Color bass and future melodic rhythm. Oh boy, do I have a hot take about this? I'm about to upset some people. Okay, I'll start with the positive. There are some great color bass artists. I like Ace Aura. I like Skybreak. I like Infowler. Generally, like what the Exobolt people put out is can be very very fucking good. Um, the track Iridescent by Zale is amazing. Like I wish all color bass was like that. But if I'm talking like the average color bass track, I feel like it just kind of doesn't really work for me, I guess. Like I don't know, like I get what like something like what someone like Chime is going for example. But I don't know, it just doesn't click with me production wise really that much. Like it's it's very much like about like color bass is one of those ideas is one of those genres that's like very very ideas focused. And like really like the time when color bass is like really done well is when like the musicality is done well. And I feel like because of the structure of color bass and because it's trying to be so crazy and so like whimsical, it often just doesn't lend itself to the kind of verse structures I really tend to enjoy. Yeah. Like color bass, not hugely my thing. Like again, put it in the hands of like a producer like Affinity or Skybreak or Virtual Riot, you're gonna get like a 9 out of 10 from me. But again, like that applies to every EDM genre. We're talking about like the average color based people, and I feel like the average color based people just aren't putting out stuff that I really enjoy. Yeah, like the color based sound design, I'm not a big fan of. Like yeah, like I'm really into verses and I'm really into melodies. I'm really into verses and I'm really into melodies and I'm really into melodic progression. And I feel like color bass just kind of hops from one idea to another. It's like, oh, we have this cool idea. Oh, we have this cool idea. 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 And it doesn't stay, it doesn't linger on this one thing that I'm really, really interested in. Like, it just kind of throws at me like 5 different things a second. And it's like, well, wait a second. Slow down. Focus on this one thing. Expand on this idea. Like, take this idea, make it bigger, and like kind of see what you can do with this. Like like it's an approach to songwriting that I've never really understood. I think generally, where it's just like throwing at you like a bunch of stuff, and it's just seeing what sticks. And I think as a result, like nothing ends up sticking because like nothing is really expanded upon in the average color based track. Like when I'm listening to music, I want the ideas to kind of stack on top of each other. I don't just want them to be like boom, 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 like 18 different ideas in like the span of 2 seconds. Like, give me something that like starts out simple and like maybe expands, like has like a progression, has like a like you add a snare, add a saw, add a lead, like do something to like make do something to make that simple thing a little bit more complex, and then like you make it a little more complex, and you make it a little more complex until it's insane and it's overwhelming, and it's just you can't help but like it. And I think yeah, Color Base had that issue where it's just throwing too many things at you, and it's just like what? Like when I listen to the average Color Base track, I'm just like, what's going on? Like sure, this is interesting ideas wise, but like I want it to focus on some kind of music on a specific musicality. I want it to focus on like a specific idea. Yeah, convexity I didn't love. Yeah, I can't lie. Like the convexity EP is like the perfect example of like what I'm not a fan of from Color Base. I think like that that's actually a perfect example of what I'm not a fan of in Color Base. Yeah, I'd probably say Color Base probably low C tier. Or like a section with broken beats. But again, it's just going through too many different ideas, and I just very often I just don't see the vision for like the entire track. Okay, next J trance. Now this one is cool. This is the cool genre. Now speaking now, I actually want to talk about the trance submissions here because I actually opened a trance submissions playlist. I actually put it in the chat right now. I had originally said that I would stop like submitting. I would stop like accepting submissions on like Friday. But you know what? Fuck it. You know, I might as well get as many submissions as I can, dude. So yeah, J trance is trance but Japanese, pretty much. It's a very underground genre. Like pretty much no one. Like I don't think I've seen like a single like larger trance producer ever play J trance out. An artist that I would recommend. The link don't let you see the playlist. Oh, this is for my trance submissions playlist. Yeah, I'm well aware the link doesn't let you see the playlist, but like I'm just putting it there if anyone is into trance and wants to some OST that trance. Go ahead, dude. Like you can submit as many tracks as you want. Like it's of any trance. It doesn't have to be Japanese trance. Anyway, speaking about specifically Japanese trance, Japanese trance is one of the only subgenres of trance that goes like above 140. Like it can go like really fast. Like you can see like some Japanese trance that's like 170 BPM that still has like trance drums and stuff. Like it's a genre that has some really cool and really underrated ideas. And it's honestly a shame that I don't see many people talking about it. If you want a good introduction to J trance, I would recommend you listen to the artist Clean Tears. If you know that artist, Clean Tears, very very underrated trance artist. Clean Tears is awesome. Minamo Toya is also awesome if you want some older stuff. Minamo Toya got some like faster J trance with like 170 and stuff. Um, what one of my friends is like one of my friends is like a huge expert in like J trance. Type the name you can't spell. Yeah, I'll put it in chat. Minamo Toya. Yeah, Minamo Toya is the name of the artist. They have an album from 2007 and an album from 2009, which are both J trance. Um, yeah, they have some pretty cool stuff. I haven't listened to like a huge amount of their stuff, nor do I listen to them often. But I know that they exist and they have some good tunes. Yeah, J trance, very very cool shit. Probably like A tier. I'd probably say like I think I don't end up listening to it as much as like acid techno or hybrid trap. Yeah, I'd probably put it above IDM. I'd probably put it above IDM. Lo-fi, eh. Lo-fi is just one of those sounds that I'm just like, what? Like, what's the purpose of this? Like, it's definitely electronically produced for sure, but I feel like it has more to do with hip hop than EDM, I guess. Yeah, I feel like this is one of the moments where Deej kind of put his taste into the playlist rather than like my taste. But yeah, like lo-fi is not my thing. Like lo-fi, like I don't get anything from lo-fi, dude. Like I'm just gonna be honest. Like it's just one of those genres that is just very very boring. Like there's not much progression. There's not much like of anything. It's just mid, dude. It's just mid. Okay. Is lo-fi for the chill beat aesthetic hip hop style? Yeah, I think like I'm kind of like I guess I'm kind of talking about both. The chill beat, yeah, the chill beat is yeah, no. The chill beats are just not my thing, dude. But like yeah, I would definitely say the hip hop style is marginally better. Like I think Nujabes. Wait, Vibin, have you watched the anime? Have you watched the anime Samurai Champloo? So a guy named, if you watch the anime Samurai Champloo, there's a guy named Nujabes who did the soundtrack for Samurai Champloo, and that soundtrack is like it is basically like a lo-fi hip hop, and it's actually pretty good. But again, like we're not talking about lo-fi hip hop. We're talking about like lo-fi EDM. We're talking about like yeah, like I would say like the chill beat, which is just like I don't get it. I think like probably because I just don't listen to music while I'm studying. Like usually music is like the opposite. Like for me, like music, unless I'm doing like a physical task, music is like the opposite of focusing. Like I just don't focus well when I'm like trying to freaking dance, dude. Like it's just not possible. Yeah, lo-fi D tier. I've just never gotten anything from it at all. Um, Hands up. This is similar like hardcore music, right? I don't think I know. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think I know the difference between like hands up and happy hardcore. If anyone's in chat and can like explain to me some of the difference between like hands up and happy hardcore, that'd be great. Like I would definitely like that. Yeah, hands up. Yeah, hands up is like interesting. I'd probably put it like from what I know about it, I'd put it B tier. But I don't know that much about it. I think it's probably better than Liquid DMB on average. I would say like maybe top of B tier. Like like it's fun. Like I think W and Bassjackers make hands up. Yeah, I don't know. Like it's definitely something that like I don't listen to enough to like say specifically. Yeah, I would definitely need to listen to more of it. Complextro, dude. Fucking Plextro, dude. This is one of the most underrated sounds. This is one of the most underrated sounds that you could possibly find. The rhythms in electro lend themselves super well to like heavier stuff. Like, and when you're trying to do that, like that heavier kind of style of electro, like what the kind of electro that Deadmau5 does is very cool. But like, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like Complextro. I'm talking about like Spitfire EP shit. We're talking about like Zed shit. We're talking about like, yeah, some like really underrated stuff. Yeah, Complextro, probably like the superior like I would say like Complextro is like maybe the best like the second best kind of like genre of like electro house after like electro house itself. Like I think like I prefer electro the main brand version of electro house for like its drums. Yeah, Bad Computer is fire. Bad Computer is fire. Zed is Complextro, yes. At least older Zed. Older Zed. Older Zed's Complextro. Like Shave It. Shave It, that's definitely Complextro. Shave It is Complextro. Codec. Codec is fire. Codec is gas, bro. Listen, Codec is so good. Yeah. Like Complextro. Porter, like I would say like Flicker Drop 2 is like Complextro by Porter Robinson. If you know that song. Alright, it's gonna give us more house genres. Classic progressive house. Alright. Classic progressive house, the kind that is like more of the 2000s kind of sound with like Eric Prydz, Deadmau5, Dinka, Adam K and Soha, Old Cascade. It's a very fucking good. Like I really enjoy it. Like I would say like it has what I love about Vapor Soul, but like it has a little bit more progression. Like some of the stuff from like this older genre hasn't aged the best production wise. Yeah, the Greg genre. It's funny because Greg is not here. Where is Greg? Is Greg here? I don't know if Greg is here. I am not sure if Greg is here. Yeah, Classic Progressive House has some great stuff. Like, you cannot tell me like I'm sorry. Like, if you listen to like Angel on My Shoulder EDX radio EDX remix and say you don't like that, no. Listen again. Listen again. The answer the answer is listen again. If you listen to Old Cascade and didn't like it, listen again. Definitely very underrated sound. Deadmau5 does it the best, at least from what I know. But yeah, Definitely a cool sound. Can kind of be a little bit repetitive, and I think like versus wise, Festival Aggressive House definitely has the edge there by a lot. But it's a very good song. I enjoy it quite a lot. Jersey Club. Jersey Club, I don't know that much about, to be honest. Like I Places I Belong by Seven Lines and Andrew Bayer. Drop two of that is in fact Jersey Club. But outside of that, like I don't know a huge amount of Jersey Club, dude. Like it's a little bit difficult to identify. Yeah, it's well, actually no, not difficult to identify. It's actually pretty easy to identify. It's just like it doesn't come across in like my Deadmau5's Progressive House. You want to check that artist next year, but Bowtie Tradition, I must follow. What? What are you talking about? What Bowtie Tradition, dude? What? I do not understand what you mean by Bowtie Tradition. Okay. You were never too big on Jersey Club. I like it. Like from what I've heard, I like it. I just don't have enough reference points for it. Like, so that's why I'm putting it in don't know, because I just haven't listened to enough of it. But Places I Belong drop 2 is by Seven Lines and Andrew Bayer is so gas. I love that drop. It's so good. Big Room House. Oh boy. Mm, mm. Oh, I'm gonna say it. Big Room, Big Room to me is like the definition of generic EDM. I'm sorry, it had to be said. Like, big respect to Hardwell. Like, his sets are amazing. But overall, like, if I'm listening to the average Big Room track, oh, the tempo in Big Room is so boring to me. Like I don't know why. It's just like there's nothing going on outside of the drums, dude. Like for for such like for such like a genre that like has such big buildups, like the drops are just do not match that energy at all. And I find especially the production in those drops is usually really really cruddy. Oh, like like I can kind of understand if you like this because like you grew up with it. Like I can definitely understand that. Like I did not grow up with it, and like by the time I got into EDM, it wasn't like that big of a sound anymore. And like I've tried my hardest to try and like I really have. And like there is the occasional track that I like Run Wild by Hardwell is a good song. Like I like that one. Tsunami by I think Dabs and Borgias is also a pretty damn good song. Animals by Martin Garrix has still not grown on me. Animals by Martin Garrix, I still just don't like. Like I can't like it, dude. Big Room overall, it's just it just feels like background music. Like it's very much EDM background music. Yeah. Like, yeah. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to anyone who likes Big Room. Extra Tone, we're gonna make a new tier. Add a row below. F. And it goes there. The hands down the worst genre of EDM. No musicality. Production is awful. Like, there's nothing intricate about the production. You're just speeding up the BPM to 3,000 and calling it a day. And then, like, maybe, like, you have, like, a dip in that, like, speeding up the BPM where, like, you slow it down. That's it, bro. Like, the only thing that it has going for it is fast. Like, literally. Faster. Like, it's for people who think faster is somehow better, which it's not. Again, I think I mentioned this earlier, but, like, I really like music that takes the time to emphasize specific elements and really just, like, take its time and, like, progression. And Extratone does not do this. Like, I've never seen a single Extratone track that actually, like, has a discernible snare or a discernible, like, drum that I can pick out and say, oh, that actually sounds pretty interesting. Like, I like how that's, like, I like the tempo of this. No, everything's going so fast, and, like, it's cranked up to this maximum where you just, there's no detail that you can even discern. Like, even if there is detail, like, it's impossible to even commentate on, like, what's going on because, like, it's 1,000 BPM. Like, your brain is just not meant to do that. Like, it's just one of those genres that's just created just because, and not out of any sort of, like, passion. Yeah, it's just it's nothing. Like, it literally a nothing burger of a genre. Like, what? Like, why 10,000 BPM? Like, what's the point? Like, what literally is the point? Like, you can't even, your brain can't even keep up at that point. Bit pop. Vibin, can you name for me a bit pop artist? Just off the top of your head. I know you know what bit pop is. I know you're, like, pretty. I think I know you know that sound. So probably better than I do. Okay, yeah, I like this genre. So, like, chiptune. So, like, Anna Minaguchi is actually more bit pop than chiptune. Is that what you're saying? Shiroban or Cubby. Is Snail's House also chiptune or bit pop, or is that something else? Because I've heard a little bit of Snail's House and I liked it. Hmm. If electronic is mixed with chiptune, then it's usually a yes. Okay, 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 yeah, okay. I kind of get it now. I would probably say, like, yeah, like bit pop. I put bit pop right above chiptune. Like, I definitely really do enjoy what, like, Anamanaguchi does. I think, like, Nomana, doesn't Nomana have, like, chiptune elements in him, or chiptune or bit pop elements? Like, I know that he's an electro house producer, but, like, his visuals, like, everything from his visuals to, like, his sound design suggests that there's a little bit of, like, chiptune, like, elements in there. Or like any, like, gaming, like, kind of, like, any producer who like wants to take influence from like video games or something, like old school like arcade stuff, is gonna use like a chiptune like elements or something. Oh. Yeah, I think it's Vibin. I think it's Snail's House plural. I think it's Snail's House plural, but yeah. Skyroom. Now this is good. Skyroom is fucking good. Skyroom has some really cool like, from what I've heard, like just Skyroom has like the impact, like it's like melodic. It's like Big Room plus like progressive house, and it just has that like massive impact that you kind of want from Big Room that Big Room doesn't have. It's a very good genre. Again, like I haven't like gone super deep into it. I don't listen to a huge amount of artists who make this genre, but it's very good. Very very good. Hard trance, yo. You're not truly a trance enjoyer until you like use some hard trance, dude. Give me some Genix. Give me some Elysian, Ilan Bluestone and Mauro Levi with oh, give me some like Andrew Bayer hard trance. Oh, like Mayan hard trance. Does some sick hard trance too. Hard trance, I think like again, like you need to be a really good producer to pull it off, dude. But when you do pull it off, it's fucked, bro. Hard trance can like go really, really hard. Like I think like back in the day, I didn't like it because I really wanted the melodic drops. But now when I hear like that crunchy trance bass, it's like, oh, dude, it's so fucking good. Hard trance easy S tier. I'd probably say above tear out because like, actually, let me think. Yeah, I think I would say. I would say hard trance has better musicality than tear out, and tear out can also be just shit. So yeah, I'd probably say hard trance then tear out then complex show. Yeah, speedcore. Speedcore definitely better than extra tone. I mean that's a low bar. That's a low bar to cross. But like speedcore is honestly not that bad. Like it's decent. Like it's not my favorite genre in the world, but I do enjoy it. I do enjoy it sometimes. Like Camellia can be good. Camellia can be good. Yeah, so Vibin, Vapor Soul is like kind of like a chill kind of sound. Listen to Shallow. If you listen to Shallow, Shallow does that kind of sound. Like Shallow and Old Casbo. Um Sultan and Shepherd has a lot of like influence on that sound as well. Forrester too does Vapor Soul a little bit. Yeah, it's a very chill, very verse forward, like very just very nice sounding song, very nice sounding genre. Like, yeah, yeah. Like if you listen to like a lot of artists that are like adjacent to like This Never Happened, they make like Vapor Soul. But yeah, I would say like Shallow is the probably the best example of like Vapor Soul. Like at least his older stuff. Like his new stuff is more like house. Like Shallow is like a lot of house now. Okay, back to Tierlist. J-Core. J-Core can be cool. I would say like not quite as good as J-Trance, but it's good. I'd probably put it like about the same as Hands Up. Maybe slightly above. I'm trying to think of a J-Core artist I know. Bro, I don't know, man. I don't know. Bass House. Alright. I feel like my taste in Bass House is a little bit weird. Cause I'm just gonna say it. In terms of Bass House specifically, Knock 2 is kind of overrated. There. I said it. For bass house, Noctu is overrated. Like, I don't think I've heard a single Noctu bass house that's as good as Dash Star. Like, yeah, I'm just being honest. But like, if we're talking like as a genre, I'd probably say like B. Probably say B. I think like it's definitely a good sound. It's fun. Like it's fun. Like put it in the hands of a producer like Crank Dat or Space Laces, they're gonna do some absolutely insane stuff with it. Like yeah, like bass house can be really really fucking good. When like you want to like when you just like when you like are really like have like some cool bass music sound design. Like I feel like bass house isn't that good when you don't have bass music sound design. Like bass house needs to be bass music. Vibin, that's hilarious. Because I would say I prefer ISOXO to Noctu. I like I probably prefer I definitely prefer ISOXO to Noctu. Like bass house is a fun sound. It just needs bass music sound design and interesting rhythms. Like low key, Skrillex is probably one of the best bass house producers. Like Push, and again Widda. Like you got Push again Widda, Chicken Soup, bro. Like that shit is kind of cracked. Like especially again Widda. Like again Widda drop two is absolutely insane. Like Chicken Soup is fun as hell, dude. Like you cannot put chicken soup on. Like if you put chicken soup on around me, you're gonna see me dancing, dude. Like you can't put chicken soup on around me, dude, and expect me to not dance. Cause that shit is just amazing. Rocktronic. Okay, I assume what Deej meant by this was Rocktronic melodic bass melodic dubstep, which is ugh. Rocktronic. It's just really redundant. Like I'm gonna be super honest. I actually kind of liked it when Illenium did it. Like Illenium's Rocktronic isn't that bad. Like Illenium gets a lot of shit, and I feel like Illenium doesn't really deserve a lot of the shit that he gets. But like his Rocktronic is honestly pretty good. It's just like everyone who tried to copy him. That's the problem. Like Fairlane tried to copy him. Maserati tried to copy him. Sad Boys tried to copy him. Freaking like dude, I don't know. Like even Jason Ross to an extent tried to like capitalize on that sound. Like ugh, at a certain point it just gets really redundant. And it's like especially considering it's really only one type of rock that's like clearly influencing this genre, which is like the My Chemical Romance, like Green Day, Linkin Park kind of style of rock, which is fine. Like I don't have anything against that, but it's like it's so clearly like very the same thing all the time, you know? Like when someone says they're putting out a rocktronic track, and when a melodic bass producer says they're putting out a rocktronic track, you know exactly what to expect. Like, and it's just usually not very interesting when you know exactly what to expect. You know, modern bro step. I'm gonna go C for this one. I'd probably put it. I'd probably put color bass above it. Modern bro step, not very good. Uh, yeah. It just lacks the charm that older bro step had, and it's like very like cut up rhythms. Like I think like dubstep, like older dubstep and older bro step specifically had a lot of like broken beats. All right, bye vibin. Yeah, older bro step, not great. Um, yeah, just not great compared to the older stuff. Um, I guess like some people like Keizo are pretty good. I like Keizo, I like Vastiv, I like Phase One kind of stopped doing bro step, and much for the better, because his bro step was not very good, was not very well produced. I feel like just bro step has lost this like it just hasn't aged. It just hasn't found a way to be well produced often into the modern age, and it just kind of devolved into like a lot of bro step just tried to copy rhythm, but without the sound design that rhythm has that makes rhythm interesting. Yeah, and just like that extrusion style of bro step is just not very interesting. Hyperpop, hyperpop, hyperpop is it's okay, I guess. Like I'm not a big fan of it. Like there are some I guess artists I like from it. Like I would say like Porter Robinson definitely has like inspiration from that kind of sound. Jaren also has inspiration from that kind of sound. A Cloudy Sky, like a lot of like indie artists love hyperpop a lot. Like Skrillex definitely does like his fair share of hyperpop. Overall, I find the genre really like it's so weird like having like experimental pop, and it often sounds like it just often ends up sounding like very just like weird trap like often like I feel like hyperpop, for as interesting as like it sounds on paper, it just ends up kind of fitting into one sound profile, which I'm just not very interested in. And it's just like this weird distorted kind of trap sound where like you have like squeaky, maybe melodic, like heavily processed vocals over it, and it's just like what, like why? And yeah, I'm not really a big fan of hyperpop. Brittum, love me some like crank dat, dude. Brittum kind of crack low key. Like Brittum probably. Let me think. I'd probably put it like up here. Like introduce rhythm sounds into bro step and you get some sick shit. Like what Ray Volpe is doing is awesome. I love Ray Volpe. Ray Volpe is awesome, and he is based. Like he is just awesome, dude. Love Ray Volpe. Yeah, Brittum can be insane, especially like when you have some great producers behind it, like Virtual Riot does a ton of Brittum, Crank That does a lot of Brittum. Like I think a lot of my favorite dubstep artists are in like Brittum, are doing like Brittum right now. I wouldn't say that's necessarily my favorite sound in dubstep, but like a lot of my favorite producers in dubstep are doing that style. Yeah, I definitely really enjoy that style a lot. Garage. Garage, the actual style itself, I'm not the biggest fan of. Like, I've seen a lot of hype between like I've seen a lot of hype behind like Drinks on Me, and like Drinks on Me like definitely has an interesting style. Like it's definitely something unique. I don't know if it's for me though. Like I don't know if it's for me. Like Cloud Nun's Garage is actually pretty interesting. Like once we start talking about Cloud Nun, that's when maybe like we can start talking about like some interesting garage. But like yeah, overall the sound is not like massively my thing. At least like by itself. Like it needs something else going on with it. You know? Okay. We've arrived at quite possibly the best genre of EDM, progressive trance. Progressive trance. We're gonna put it top of S. Progressive trance. So I talked about vocal trance earlier, but progressive trance is is the epitome of kind of what I described earlier, where it's lingering on this one idea, and it's adding elements and building on it over time. Like progressive trance, especially when you're talking about like Strauss, can get like insane. Like can get literally just insane. Yeah, progressive trance, Gareth Emery. Um, I love Gareth Emery so much. He's so fucking good. Summer Love too. Tritonal has some great progressive trance. Mayan, C Systems. I love C Systems. C Systems is great right now. Check out his remix of One More Time by Armin van Buuren. Such a banger song. Um, who else? Who else? Who else? Ilan Bluestone's kind of progressive trance. Generally, like most people on Anjuna are very, very good at progressive trance. Like a lot of people on Anjuna. On the Anjuna Beats label. Yeah. Progressive trance, just one of those sounds that just like I instantly connected to when I very first heard it, and I just haven't been able to not connect with it since. Okay. Moombahton. Moombahton, I feel like, is one of those rare genres that actually genuinely has a BPM issue for me. I haven't actually talked much about BPM in this video because I don't really care about BPM that much. I'm not like very picky about BPM, but Moombahton usually I think it's about 110, and I'm just not really into the 110. I think the one BPM range I'm not that into is 110 through 120. There are still some great songs in that range, don't get me wrong. But 110 through 120 is where there's kind of a weak spot there. Like again, like put a song there in that range and like it's not automatically bad. Like again, there's still great songs. There's even like 10 out of 10 songs in there. Like you lose yourself to dance. It's like I think 115, 118. That's a 10. Lose yourself to dance by Daft Punk. It's a 10. Moombahton. Generally kind of interesting, but it just doesn't have enough that's different about it from like other kinds of house. I would probably put it C as a genre. Like it can be interesting, I guess. It's probably better than Future House. Probably better than Future House. Yeah, it can have some stuff that's interesting about it, but it's never really like stood out to me. At least like outside of the tempo. Yeah, hmm. Like Moombahton's just kind of alright. Like there definitely are some good songs in Moombahton, but like I don't really have a favorite producer that makes it. Like I don't really have anyone that like I really follow who like makes that kind of sound. Future Funk. Now Future Funk's interesting. Future Funk, it's very Japan associated, I feel, and kind of leans more into like yeah, it's a weirder kind of more underground sound. Honestly, I really do enjoy it. Like anything like funky and EDM is pretty cool. And I think Future Funk definitely a sound that like is pretty easy to recognize, to be honest. Especially like the smaller, more minute elements of it. Like when it's used in a more subtle way, I guess. I'd probably put it above IDM. Like it's interesting. Like I don't come across it a lot, but when I do, I'm pleasantly surprised. Rhythm and work bass. I really enjoy rhythm. I fucking love me some rhythm, man. Like, what can I say? Like, a lot of rhythm is very. I'll put it right below rhythm. A lot of rhythm is very like derivative, I guess. but like overall, it's not really that bad. Like definitely like deep basses can't really hurt. Like a song having deep basses definitely like does not hurt, dude. Like definitely helps the song out a lot, you know. I really love those like deeper guttural sounds. Speaking of deeper guttural sounds, oh yeah, I should mention my favorite artists. Who are my favorite artists? That's difficult to say actually. I really like 2017 to 2019 Subtronics. Like I know that everyone does, but like 2019 to 2017 to 2019 Subtronics is some really good stuff. All right, deep house. Speaking of deeper sounds, deep house. Deep house is gonna be S tier, dude. Deep house gotta be S tier. Probably put it below. I'd probably put it. I think like I'd probably put it above hard trance, but below festival. Deep house, like the Sultan and Shepherd Lane 8 Le Youth sound, one of the best. Like I gotta give it to This Never Happened as a label for doing such a good job in promoting this genre. Because deep house, like it probably had changed like my consumption of deep house from just like this like kind of like lounge music to one of the musically strongest genres in EDM. Like whenever I see a This Never Happened release with a vocal, I know that this is gonna be insane. And like even when it doesn't have a vocal, it can still be great, dude. Like it can still be great. Like deep house, the chords in deep house can be really nice. Like it's very calm yet also very emotional. Like it is very much like arousing music because like it gets you very emotionally invested. It's very much the kind of sound that gets you invested in those smaller elements, you know? Ambient. Yeah, speaking of chiller kind of stuff, ambient can be very good. I like ambient a little bit. I'm not like huge on it. I'd probably put it like top of B tier. I think my my favorite ambient project currently, or like just example of what I kind of like from that genre is BT's The Secret Language of Trees, which is a really good album. Please go check that out. Yeah, BT's The Secret Language of Trees, great stuff. Yeah, beautiful melodies in that album. Um, Ugh. Yeah, BT's Secret Language of Trees. Yeah, ambient can have some great atmospheres, great stuff going on. Like Inzo's Earth Magic EP used a lot of elements of ambient. Tech House. Tech House. Yeah, Injo's Earth Magic EP was also my favorite project of 20. Yeah, Tech House. Tech House, it's all right. It's just kind of there. Probably put it D. It's kind of meh. Like Tech House can definitely be done well. It's just oftentimes like more like 9 out of 10 times when I hear it, it just comes off as very overly commercial music. I guess it's just not very interesting. I really do like the album PM by Beach Crimes. That's probably like the most I've ever enjoyed Tech House. Great album. Great album. Up tempo hardcore. Ugh. F tier. Up tempo hardcore. No, bro. I don't like up tempo hardcore. Up tempo hardcore. Just the production is not for me at all. Like up tempo hardcore. Yo, hello, Greg. You're back. Greg is back. Yeah, up tempo hardcore. Ugh. Like GPF kind of stuff is just no. GPF kind of stuff is just exactly what I don't want from music. Not even from electronic music, but from music. GPF is like everything I do not want from music. Like it's just like it never settles down. It never really focuses on one idea. Plus, like when it even when it does, it's like it's overall just a very silly genre. It's not to be taken seriously, and like I get it. Like I get the point of silly music. Like I get that it's not meant to be taken seriously, but it's like how am I supposed to get invested, like emotionally invested in something I can't take seriously? Like what's the point, dude? You know? Yeah, up-tempo hardcore. It's just really fast and really pew pew pew, and it's just really distorted sound, and it's just like it doesn't really focus on melodies like hardstyle does either. Like there's some like euphoric hardstyle and stuff like that that's actually pretty damn good. That like has like more verses and like more kind of focus on like musicality and melodies and actually manages to progress an idea through its track. But up-tempo hardcore doesn't really do that. It just kind of makes random sounds and like no, just no. Yeah. I've done hardcore just hard style taken to an extreme that I just don't really think is necessary. Like hardstyle is already crazy enough as it is. Like why are you taking it to this extreme? And like especially like distorting, especially like it's so distorted. Like if it's supposed to be like angry music that's like heavy and like has deeper basses, like I can kind of understand. But like bass music or something, but like up-tempo hardcore does not have that. Like it just doesn't have that impact either, and it's just falsified. Noise wall. Noise wall is one of those very like divisive sounds that like a lot of people just don't really like. Like I can kind of get why. Like noise wall is weird. Like I think like outside of a Cloudy Skies discography, there are a lot of noise wall producers who just aren't very good. Like who just aren't very interesting. Like Noise Wall's sound profile is pretty similar to trap, I would say. I would say like Def Sharp's EDM stuff is definitely Noise Wall. Ideas wise, Noise Wall can be awesome. Like the saws in Noise Wall can be really cool. Like I really like what Noise Wall does ideas wise, and I generally really enjoy it production wise. I think all it really needs is good musicality. I think like if you give it to an artist like Cloudy Sky, he does amazing musicality. So like it just works really well. Yeah, I think noise wall definitely like a pretty underground genre. Like a lot of the artists who make it are pretty small. Um, there's not really like a big community for it either. Like yeah, it's not very well known, but to people who do know it, it is somewhat divisive, I guess. Yeah, but I personally love it. I think it's a really cool sound. I think it's the kind of ideas that we should aim for. Raw style. Now raw style is a little bit different from up-tempo hardcore. It's not as fast. Up-tempo hardcore and extra are extremely fast. Like up-tempo is like 200 BPM. Raw style is like slower. It's like maybe 180 or something. I actually like raw style a bit more. I'd probably put it top of C tier or maybe bottom B. Like it can actually raw style can actually be very good. Like I think my favorite producers from this genre are like Andarex and D Block and Estefan can make some gas raw style, like absolutely insane stuff. I think overall, like it still is very much a genre that is not very consistent, but the highs are quite high. Like the highs are much higher than like up tempo hardcore's highs. Commercial house, I don't know what this is. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know. I don't know what that is. New jazz. New jazz probably would put. I'd probably put new jazz in like B. Like it's interesting. It's very kind of similar to IDM. Like I see a lot of IDM artists who also do new jazz. Euphoric hard style. Uh Euphoric hard style. Honestly, A man. Euphoric hard style got some great stuff. Euphoric hardstyle got some great stuff. I would say like Stonebank has some euphoric hardstyle. I also mentioned D Block and Estefan in the when I mentioned raw style, they do some like really really good stuff. In terms of euphoric hard style, like Fire. Fire is a great song by them. Melodic techno. Melodic techno is another one of those genres that's very kind of hit or miss. I'd probably say low B tier. Like it can definitely be nice. Like I think like my favorite melodic techno producer might be like maybe KX5, honestly. Oh, actually no, Killscript. Killscript. Killscript is my melodic techno goat. Kill Killscript is really good at melodic techno. Chillwave. Chillwave. Probably A. Chillwave is, I think, a genre often used to describe ODESZA. And ODESZA is one of my favorite artists. Outside of them, I don't really listen to Chillwave a lot. But it's definitely a nice sound. I just happen to love ODESZA specifically. So I'm not gonna put Chillwave in S tier just because I love ODESZA. Because like I don't have a huge frame of reference for Chillwave. Happy Hardcore S. Happy Hardcore S. By far the best kind of sound in like the hardcore music kind of genre. It like the kicks aren't super distorted. They actually have like a little bit of impact. They actually feel a little bit gated. Yeah. Happy Hardcore, very very cool stuff. Really just enjoy the sound design. Um the melody's just super nice. Yeah. Happy Hardcore, great stuff. Stonebank is my Happy Hardcore goat. Listen to Afraid to Love. Such a good song. Synth pop. I don't. Oh, honestly, synth pop might be A. I was thinking like, what exactly is synth pop? Now I think about it, it might be A. Synth pop is like kind of like electronic. I would say like electronic pop. Yeah, synth pop is nice. Like it lends itself to nice stuff, but like kind of hit the mainstream in like the late 2000s, early 2010s. Like I would say like Ellie Goulding style, like Ellie Goulding's old style is kind of synth pop. Got some nice stuff. Yo, hello, Greg. Didn't I already acknowledge that you were back? You have 0 concurrent viewers. Okay. Maybe I didn't acknowledge anyone was back because it says 0 concurrent viewers. All right. Yeah, we have classic bro step. Now this one is fire. Classic bro step is great, dude. Gotta love some classic bro step. I'd probably put it up there with like Complextro. I think I do prefer Complextro to classic bro step, but it's definitely up in A tier. Up in S tier. Psytrance. Oh yeah, I love Psytrance. Another genre I'm gonna have to put in S tier. Yeah, Psytrance. Blastoise got me into Psytrance, and I think Blastoise is still my favorite artist in Psytrance. I'm pretty excited for the Psytrance Mafia EP. I think the collab with Infected Mushroom. That's gonna be cool. Electro House, also another S tier. I'd probably put it right below Complextro. Electro House, my favorite producer right now is probably Kindred. Kindred's very underrated. He's on Mousetrap. Go check him out. He does some sick shit. Yeah, Marathon by Kindred is a masterpiece. That's like maybe my first favorite electro house of all time. Okay, we have Neurofunk. Neurofunk by far the best kind of D&B. Noisia is like a top 5 artist of mine, of all time. I might actually like the production in Neurofunk is so good. Like the production and ideas in Neurofunk are so good that like I don't really even believe that musicality matters. I might even put this above like Festival Progressive House / Progressive Electro House, since like Neurofunk has been good since like the late 2000s. Like I'll consider putting it above, but like not right now. Maybe it's definitely a top 5 though. Definitely a top 5 easily. Future bass. Now, if we're talking like not melodic dubstep, future bass, it's all right. Like it's decent. It just it's not like as good as it used to be. Like I still enjoy my fair share of like San Holo per se, but like it's definitely not something that I go out of my way to listen to anymore. Like future bass, like I guess Millennium kind of got me into melodic dubstep through future bass. So future bass kind of the more future bass like the more mainstream version, like more mainstream than melodic dubstep. But I definitely prefer melodic dubstep by a lot because like I feel like the production of melodic dubstep is just usually a lot better. But yeah, future bass can be nice. It's just like more. It's just like a lot more inconsistent. Melodic bass. Now, melodic bass is kind of in between melodic dubstep and future bass. Like future bass is definitely the most mainstream. Like Martin Garrix has made future bass. Martin Garrix has never made melodic bass or melodic dubstep. I would say melodic bass probably. I would say like melodic bass was created by Illenium's Awake album. That was the album that created melodic bass. Like there's certain artists, there's certain like vocalists that are huge on melodic bass, like Run and Dia Frampton, who are on the Awake album. Like last year's Trivecta, Crystal Skies, lots of artists that I love make melodic bass. I'd probably say like melodic bass slightly above melodic dubstep because I feel like melodic bass just has a little bit more of that musicality. Melodic dubstep kind of, at least right now, is like in this kind of area where it's just kind of very production focused. And like I love stuff like Abandoned, but like I just definitely need that musicality, you know? Yeah. Actually, I would say melodic bass is then festival progressive house, then Eurofunk, and then melodic dubstep. Yeah. Actually, let me think. Yeah, I would say progressive trance, vocal trance, melodic bass, progressive house, progressive festival progressive house, and then Eurofunk, and then melodic dubstep. All right. We have three more genres to go. UK dubstep. UK dubstep. It's interesting. Like I definitely like it. My favorite producers in this genre are probably Benga and Koki and Joker. It's good. Like I honestly really enjoy it. Like the production is very interesting. Like if you want a good example of what the genre has to offer, listen to Benga's Diary of an Afro Warrior. That album is really cool. That has some like very cool like wubs in it. It's not very like harsh, but like it's the beats are very nice. Yeah. Okay. Two more genres to go. Synthwave. Synthwave. I'd probably put C to be honest. Synthwave is okay. Like I'm not really like a huge fan of like the production usually in synthwave, but it can be good. I would say like Fool is my favorite synthwave producer. Fool makes like really gritty synthwave. Yeah, like I definitely like synthwave. I definitely don't go out of my way to listen to it. Like it usually the musicality is usually like very like rock influenced. Like it's very like kind of 80s rock kind of style like because synthwave is very 80s inspired. Big room techno. This is the final genre that we have. Where do I stick this? Probably A. I mean, it's way above big room. Like the competition between big room techno and big room house is not even close, dude. Like I would say I prefer slightly classic progressive house, but big room techno is fire. Like it's fire. Like it bangs, dude. Like I can't lie. Like big room techno definitely bangs. Like it's very good. Yeah, that's my EDM tier list. There's some genres that are just pretty difficult to classify, I guess. But outside of that, yeah, like I would say this is a pretty good representation of like what I like in EDM and what you'll kind of see from me. And like, if you end up watching the stream while it's live, that's cool. But like, yeah, if you want to share with me an artist in any of these genres, feel free to, because I like I recognize that I definitely don't know everything, and there's a lot of stuff that I still have yet to discover, and I think that's kind of the point of this channel. Also, please submit trance to the trance to the trance submission playlist if you haven't already. Um, it should be pinned up there in the link. If it isn't pinned, I'll probably put it in the description of this video once it's done, or I'll make a community post about it, maybe either today or tomorrow. But yeah, definitely please submit trance. I'm gonna do a stream where I listen to your submissions at some point, so watch out for that. But yeah, that's about it. Uh, X-42 signing out. Catch you guys later.